Let's get good. We are back with more Legends of Runeterra. We're going to be finishing off our first expedition here, I hope today. I mean, honestly, we probably won't get through the whole thing, but we are going to get through the draft. We're going to jump right in. I have been playing a lot more lately, so I feel like I have a little bit better of a handle on what we might want here. Immediately, Noxian Might stands out in this draft, and the main reason for that is because it does have Darius in it, and Darius is a super good closer. If we can just get their Nexus down to 10 health before turn 6, then he comes out and can pretty much take half their health in his first swing. So he's a very, very solid closer for us. Deal 2 damage to the enemy Nexus just by dying. That makes him great for setting Darius up, and then Whirling Death, a battling ally strikes a battling enemy. That one's okay. That one essentially allows us to kind of remove a problematic target. So that's pretty good right there. Lucian, not quite the same. Lucian takes a little bit more to get set up. And Braum is kind of great. We do get a little bit of a board sweeper there with Braum, but it is a slow speed board sweeper, so not necessarily the best board sweeper. I think we'll go with Darius here. Now, for our second hero, Fiora's definitely not it because we won't have the means to protect her really to allow her to get off her combo. Fiora is quite interesting. If you can manage to kill 4 enemies with her, you do just win the game. The problem with that is she's very, very squishy, very easy to kill, so unless you have a means of protecting her, she's not great. Zed here would give us access to Ionia and would also be a great potential setup for Darius. Callista here would give us access to Shadow Isles, which is incredibly strong. See, going into this, one of the things that I've noticed so far, especially as a free-to-play player, is that Ionia and Shadow Isles are 2 of the best regions for free-to-play players, and for the same reason they're great in expeditions. That's because Ionia has Deny, which is the only hard counterspell in the game, and Shadow Isles has a ton of non-conditional, and conditional removal spells that will actually kind of fix the board state to where you need it to be. So here we could either go with Callista or Zed. Callista does come with a Rekindler and a Mist Wraith. The Mist Wraith plus Callista combo is actually a very nice one. The Rekindler is interesting. It's not... I mean... it doesn't do a whole lot on its own. It's one of those weird cards where it like triggers last breaths, but it doesn't really trigger play effects, so it doesn't work similar to what you might expect from other games. I feel like that's still probably a pretty solid pick here, mainly because we'll get some really solid removal here. Then again, Zed is really strong, Usari is really strong, and Inspiring Mentor is one of the better 1-drops that we could potentially pick up, I feel like. So maybe we'll go with Discipline. I personally just like Ionia too. It's one of my favorite regions, mainly because the playstyle is where I'm at. It's a little bit more control-y, it's got a little bit more counter spells and bounce and things like that. Okay, so next pick we've got Discipline, which is Sown Seed, Sparring Student. Both of those are very good. We have Relentless, which would give us the Legion Saboteur, and the Trifarian Hopeful. These are both really good for setting up Darius. And then we have the Basilisk Rider, which will grant +1/+1 and Overwhelm if we have Allegiance. Allegiance is when it flips the top card of our deck and it matches the region of the card being played. Might here can actually close out games because it's a burst spell that gives +3/+0 and Overwhelm. So this is really, really strong, and we don't have a 4-drop yet. These are some of the better 1 and 2 drops we could get though too, so it's a tough pick here. Definitely not looking at Discipline for this one. I'm gonna go with Basilisk Rider because that gives us a really, really solid 4. Okay, Shadows and Dust. Oh, interesting. We can pick up a couple Shadow Isle cards if we would like to. We also get a chance to pick up Navori Conspirator and Navori Highwayman when I'm summoned. Summon a Navori Brigand with my stats. Okay, so that gives us 2 bodies for 1 cast. This gives us the ability to bounce one of our allies back and replay them. That can be incredibly useful with something like the Basilisk Rider if it doesn't get its trigger. It can be useful with our Inspiring Mentor, which makes something bigger. We don't have anything that when we play it does damage to their Nexus. If we did, it would have even more value. Crimson Aristocrat is okay. Whirling Death is okay. I think we're definitely looking at Discipline here, although Scuttlegeist is just really, really nice. When an ephemeral ally attacks and I'm dead, return me to play attacking. So we don't really have that many ephemerals to get value out of the Shark Chariot, otherwise I would go with this. So we're going to go with Discipline here. Noxian Might gives us Elixir of Wrath. That is a burst spell with +3/+0. If we combo that with our other wonderful burst spell, Might, we can get 6 damage that they can't see coming and can't respond to because it's at burst speed, plus another Legion Grenadier, so this is a really strong one. Greenblade Duo is elusive and comes with a Sparring Student, which is also really strong. Chumpwump and Jury Rig, not the greatest for us here. We're probably not taking those. These ones are very... This is such a good low cost. Ooh, Elixir of Wrath being 1 and Burst makes it really appealing. I'm gonna go with that. We're going kind of heavy Noxia here. Shield Wall, we've got Greenglade Lookout, reduce the cost of the most expensive unit in your hand by 1. That's really strong. Herald of Spring is also very, very strong. I like both of those. Otherwise, we get Ghost and Guile. Ooh. So Guile is slow, which makes it actually not as good as it looks. The fact that it stuns something at slow speed basically means that you can remove something from combat before you go in, but if you do, they get a chance to respond, so it's not great. However, as far as slow spells go, it is only 1 mana, which makes it really efficient, and being able to put Burst on something that we just gave +6/+0, or rather being able to put Elusive on something we just gave +6/+0, once again wins us games. Crimson Awakener, when I'm summoned, deal 1 damage to all their allies, that's not great. Intimidating Roar here is actually really nice, but that is slow speed. It's okay for that one being slow speed because it can stun their entire board, so you just go in for a lethal swing. I'm not feeling the Crimson Awakener, though. I don't feel like we have anything that benefits from him that much. I mean, how much is the Grenadier's health? The Grenadier's health is only 1, so he could kill Grenadiers, triggering them and setting up Darius. There is that. I honestly feel like Shield Wall here is probably the best pick. We're gonna go with that. It's also a good thing in draft modes to kind of favor getting units over spells. Spells are really powerful, but particularly burst spells are better. And units, once again, are a little bit better for the simple fact that when you play a spell, it's played, it's gone. When you play a unit, you can attack multiple times, you can block, it gets multi-uses, so it becomes more than 1 card just by value. Okay, Elixir of Wrath and another Reckless Trefarian, or our first Reckless Trefarian, rather. That's pretty decent. Jeweled Protector, grant an ally +3/+3. This with Darius can be absolutely lethal. And then here we get a Usari and a Greenglade Caretaker. We're not going to be playing barrier stuff that much, so I don't feel like that's a good pick. The Jeweled Protector and Usari is definitely a decent pick. We already have 1 Usari, though, I believe. Yes, we do. And then the Elixir of Wrath and Reckless Trefarian, these are just good. Basically, any time they choose not to block or we know they're not going to block, we can Elixir of Wrath and just get a ton of extra damage, and they can't even respond to it. That's what makes it really, really great. Let's see. I feel like this is probably the better pick right here. And it does kind of help our curve because we're a little bit heavier on 2s. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good curve pick too. Trying to draft a little bit better of a mana curve this time because I feel like that definitely affected us last time. When cast or discarded, grant all allies +1/+0. That's pretty good. Savage Reckoner. Oh, I like that. Overwhelm and Challenger, meaning we can choose who blocks him to ensure the maximum amount of damage goes through when he hits. That's a very strong combination there. Here, though, the Greenglade Elder will grant allies in your hand +1/+1, and the Shadow Blade, or the Shadow Assassin, I was going to say Shadow Blade Assassin, lets you draw a card when you play it, so it does provide card value and replaces itself in your hand, which is very, very strong. Ooh, and then we can get another Might here. I really like Might. It's one of the ones that makes me reconsider whether or not I want to take this, because the Crimson Awakener doesn't appeal to me at all. But Might is very, very strong here. I feel like we'd end up heavy on 3s if we picked here. And we don't have a 7 yet, and Vision is actually kind of okay. Because if we have to discard for some reason, we can also toss it. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough with this. This is really, really good, and this is also pretty good. I feel like this is better, so maybe we go with that, but this also fits our curve better, and Savage Reckoner can absolutely end games on his own. We're gonna go with that. Perhaps the wrong decision there, I guess we'll find out in the future. Usari and Sparring Student, Legion Rearguard, and Brothers Bond. Another burst spell that gives +2/+0 to 2 allies. This is actually really, really strong in and of itself for that reason. And then here we would basically bring our 3-drops in line with our 2-drops, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I think we'll go here. Sparring Student is okay. Usari is good, but Sparring Student's just kind of okay. Shield Wall, we're not going to get that. Disruption. Minotaur Reckoner, this is really, really strong. Inspiring Mentor, Trefarian Hopeful. So this is a good 1-2 right here, but Minotaur Reckoner is kind of, in my opinion, needing a little bit of balance. At the start of the round, you just stun the weakest enemy, which means that if they only have one unit and it's Darius, he just gets stunned. And it does it every round for free. So it's a ton of value on a 6/6 body. This is just a really, really strong card. We're gonna take that one for sure. Noxian Might gives us another Basilisk Rider and a Whirling Death. Whirling Death so far is the only really solid removal we have, so that's definitely worth considering. Noxian Guillotine will let us kill an injured unit for 3 mana. That's actually really strong as well. Legion Rearguard, not so much. In fact, I would be curious how many of those can't block units we have. So we know we have one. I believe we have another one there. So we've got 2 units that can't block. We really want to be careful about loading up on those, because it can basically come back to bite us pretty bad. Basilisk Rider here in a 3-drop could be good. Yeah, I don't know. Greenglade Elder here is also really, really strong. But I feel like removal is always going to be a better choice. This removal is actually less situational than this removal, but it does cost a... Oh, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This is actually way, way better. Yeah, we're going with this. That's way better. I thought that they struck each other when I read that, because I don't play Noxia very much, but they don't strike each other. Your ally just strikes someone else, which is ridiculously good. Culling Strike here will kill most low-cost champions, which is really strong. Legion Drummer, give my supported ally quick attack this round. That's just nice for keeping things alive. Ooh, but here's some card draw, which is great. When you stun a unit or recall a unit, grant me +2/+0. So we're not going with this. This isn't a great choice for us, but this right here is actually really, really nice. Legion Drummer and Culling Strike is also very good, so I'm not sure on this one, mainly because of the removal factor for Culling Strike. I feel like removal is kind of premium, but there's some draw on Shadow Assassin and some elusive, which will help us set up that, hey, you're damaged enough when Darius comes out. I still feel like we go here, though, just because of Culling Strike. Culling Strike is just, we need removal. Removal is great. Kinku Lifeblade here is awesome, elusive, and a little bit of, what do they call it in this? Lifesteal. Lifelink, Lifesteal, you name it. It's been in every card game. It's great in all of them. Shadow Shift here will protect one of our champions, which is great. Legion Saboteur, Reckless Trifarian. Both of these are excellent for getting that Nexus whittled down. Here, though, we have another Whirling Death and a Reckless Trifarian, both of these quite good. I'm actually sad we haven't seen a Deny yet. I would like to get at least one Deny before we finish. This would give us another 4-drop, though, which is kind of strong. Tough decisions here. Whirling Death is just so good, though. I think we'll go here. I think we go here just because of Whirling Death. We have gotten a ton of removal, though. Let's actually do this. Let's do this. So Shadow Shift will help us protect our champs, and we also get that Kinku Lifeblade that can help us if we have a rough start in gaining back some health. Savage Reckoner again, and a Trifarian Hopeful. That's actually really nice. Zephyr Sage, create an exact copy of a card in your hand, and Yone Windchaser. These are very expensive cards. We don't have a lot on the expensive end of our curve, though, and they're both very strong cards as well, so I think we'll definitely take them. The only other option I was looking at really was this one. Getting another Savage Reckoner and a Trifarian Hopeful would be kind of nice, but I feel like Zephyr Sage plus Yona Windchaser is much better. Zephyr Sage essentially gives you card value because you get an extra card, but it's a card of your choice. And then Yona Windchaser stuns 2 enemies, which basically gives you a potentially free combat swing and win. We can trade Herald of Spring for another Yusari. Don't think that's necessarily good. We get another Reckless Trifarian. Also don't feel that's very good. This is good. Navori Highwayman for a Greenglade duo is actually really good here, mainly because this is elusive, which means it'll help us get that early damage on the Nexus to set Darius up. So I feel like with this deck, we have a very low aggressive curve, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want a low aggressive curve so we can get in, get our damage, and then close with Darius. Unfortunately, we are playing against Teemo first game. This is going to be rough. So the name of this game is Kill Teemo. If we kill Teemo, we win. If we don't kill Teemo, we don't. Let's get rid of this and this. These are both great for starting. What's really crazy is we can play these into each other very, very nicely. Ooh, that's better. That's a lot better. This is a nice little play out here. I like this a lot. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be very good. Especially if they don't have a kill spell to answer this. What are they in? So they could frostbite him, or they could deal 3 damage to him. They're probably not gonna kill him outright when he comes out. The frostbite is more of a concern. Oh gosh, that's a big concern too. Teemo is gonna get in and get a guaranteed hit here, and there's not a thing we can do about it. This actually becomes more of a decision here because Teemo's there. I think with Teemo on the board, even if we give this guy +1/+1, he's still liable to be killed, though, by the same kill spells available to him in the regions he's in. So maybe we put that extra damage on him after all. This is not fun. Teemo first turn is rough. It's very rough. We do have an elusive to get in with him, but it's not going to do much good here. It's also going to be really hard to just engage with him to take advantage of Whirling Death.
Venture starts with mushroom.
Yeah. Thanks, Teemo. Thanks. Teemo is just as trolly in Legends of Runeterra as he is in League. Who am I kidding, though? I love Teemo in Legends of Runeterra. I really do. It's one of my favorite decks. I actually don't have the cards to play it now that we're out of the beta, but it is what it is. That's a nice little play for us, though. We get our Inspiring Mentor back so that we can play it again next turn. In the meantime, we're going to be going in with Navori Conspirator, which they can only block with their Teemo, so they're going to take 3 here because they're not going to block. Unless they had a play, but they have no mana, so they don't have a play. Now, next turn, Teemo is going to come in, we're going to block, and we're going to try to Whirling Death him just to ensure that if they do cast a spell or something, we still kill him, but the reality is, if they cast a spell in response to our spell and kill him, then we'll lose Teemo, we'll lose him and the Whirling Death, and Teemo will live. So that's kind of problematic in and of itself. It's one of those I guess we'll have to see.
I've heard about you.
When you cast the spell, plant 3 Poison Puff Caps. Okay, so that's problematic. It's not terrible, though. Like, we can still kind of play around that. I kind of want to save our mana here so that we can drop the Trefarian at the end of our turn here, if possible. So I'm just going to pass. I'm going to pass and see if he goes in. If he doesn't attack or go in, that works fine for us as well. Oh, he didn't. He didn't attack there. That's interesting. Okay, so now we just have a good storage of mana here. We could go in with Basilisk Rider right away. He would basically trade with the Peddler, which isn't great, though. Let's do this instead. Let's play this guy and pump up. I'm going to pump the Basilisk Rider here and then play the Reckless Trefarian. We still save our 3 spell mana to play Whirling Death if we need it, and that's fine. Getting out the Trefarian here means that they either have to block it or eat 6 damage, and eating 6 damage here is not a good choice.
I've heard about you.
It's not a choice that they're going to enjoy. They're also out of mana now, so they really can't do anything if we do decide to Whirling Death and kill Teemo, but Teemo does have to enter battle for that to work. And there's a very real chance that he won't. We're not going to go in with our 1/1 here because there's really no point. I mean, I guess there's a point. If they put something in front of it, we can always kill it. But we'd rather save that kill spell for Teemo, so it's fine. We'll just go in like this. Come on. Oh. That's okay. Oh, that's not okay. That's not fun at all. Teemo might level here very soon. That was a fun little play. It was. The question is, are we willing to trade this? And the answer is no, because we need an elusive to block Teemo, so we'll just do this. How about that dies? How about that dies and we just keep on moving? I like that idea. Unfortunately, the way that this worked out, we do not get any damage on the Nexus, which is unfortunate because we're trying to set up for Darius here. But that's okay. Still a very nice trade for us. We didn't really lose anything. They lost 2 bodies. Yeah, and we're equal on mana, which is great. Forcing them to burn mana is going to be a key part of our strategy. It's going to allow us to take better advantage of our mana, setting up for our big turns here. Like right now we're on 5. If we don't have to play anything this turn, we can drop him at the end of our turn, hope that he gets the +1/+1 and Overwhelm, and we'll have a 6/4 out there, or 7/4 rather, with Overwhelm. So even if they put something in front of it, it'll get good value. And then next turn we'll have enough to either Zephyr Sage or Minotaur Reckoner. I'd rather do Zephyr Sage and then create exact copies of Minotaur Reckoner, because that's just dirty. Like, if we do that and we get out 3 Minotaur Reckoners, they basically lose the game. There's nothing they can do at that point. Question is, do we have value in playing this right now? The answer is probably not. Probably better off just waiting on that. We could also play this at the end of our turn, but we're not hurting enough to need the lifesteal. Yeah. We play our 4-drop. We also get to save 1 mana for spells next turn, which is great. Come on, what you got? I mean, it's obvious they're going to go in with the Poro. They're going to go in with the Poro. But if they don't go in with Teemo, it doesn't matter, because we'll just take the 2. Like, if this is the game they've got, it's a silly game. You got 3 cards left in your hand. We have 5. We have the card advantage. We have the life advantage. We can trade that 2 without blinking an eye. Go for it. Yeah, we're not blocking that. We're not blocking that. That would be stupid. Okay. Basilisk Rider here. Didn't get Allegiance. That's unfortunate. Would have really, really liked to pick up the Allegiance there, but that's okay. He's still a 6/3. They can block with the Puffcap Peddler. If they do, though, they're going to end up taking, what, another 3 damage on their Nexus, putting them down to 14. Shady character is pick a follower. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. Okay. Nothing to be done about that. That's just super annoying. We do have Zephyr Sage, though, next turn, which is also a nice play here. The question is, Puffcap's coming already. Do we actually play the Zephyr Sage before we go in? And I feel like that's a no. And now we can't go in with Navori Conspirator because they'll just block with the Daring Poro. I think here we can honestly just go in like this and be like, sup, let's go. Actually, we can go in with both. There's no profitable trades for them here. There really isn't. Although they do have this Overwhelm guy now, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. This is fine. This is fine. We'll just go in like this. We can play Kinku Lifeblade on their next turn to put out another blocker for elusives.
Get ready, girl.
And in the meantime, we're going to Zephyr Sage on our Minotaur Reckoner. Yeah, I'm fine with this trade. We actually get 3 health for it, they don't. That's a totally fair trade. Although they probably paid less initial mana for that, to be honest. No, they paid the same mana. So they basically paid the same mana and we traded for 3 damage on the Nexus. I'm fine with that. They're at 11 health here. Just gorgeous. Okay, your turn to play a thing. You got something, or am I gonna Zephyr? Oh, come on. Copying their Puffcap Peddler. I mean, that's a choice. I feel like if it were me, I probably would have copied the Reckless Trifarian or even the Navori Conspirator to ensure more direct damage, but this is their choice. They can do whatever they want. Ooh, if we play this, though, Teemo just gets stunned. Okay, so this is actually an interesting play here, because if we play this, Teemo just gets stunned. Do we go for more value, or do we just stun the Teemo? I think we just stun the Teemo. Yeah, I think we just stun the Teemo here. Stunning the Teemo ensures that Teemo does not get in to double those puff caps, which is the biggest concern we have. So they've either got to buff Teemo, or do something else, or he's just gonna kind of be stuck here for the rest of the game. Yeah, they've got to buff Teemo, or he's just gonna be stuck for the rest of the game. The other thing is, even if they buff Teemo, he's only elusive, so we can put down the Kinku Lifeblade and block him anyway. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so here what we're looking for is for them to play out their mana so that we can just Culling Strike Teemo and be done with it. I am totally fine with that outcome. And the Minotaur Reckoner is way too strong here.
More for my collection.
Okay. 5 more puff caps, Teemo's gonna level up, that's fine. I hope he still remains stunned. If that removes his stun, I'm gonna be like, what the heck? Oof, that's rough. How many puff caps in deck? More puff caps than cards right now. That's kind of problematic, but it's not the end of the world. We're still in a very good position here. I'm not sure who we want to copy here. Another copy of Kinku Lifeblade would probably be pretty good, but we also want to be careful about manaing out too much here, because if we play the Kinku or the Zephyr Sage, we're not actually going to have enough left for Culling Strike. I think we'll do this.
Step lightly.
Come on in with your elusives if you want to. I will gladly kill them and gain 2 life. Come on. Do your thing. We're sitting on Culling Strike here, hoping they play out their mana, because if they do play out all their mana... Okay, so now there's pretty much nothing they can do about the Culling Strike, so we're just gonna go. Did I mention Teemo was dead? Because he is. We absolutely can't handle him going in for a hit here. We could have waited to play this, but I'd rather just get him off the board when we know they're out of mana and they can't really respond to it. Okay. We are at an impasse here, sir. What you gonna do? You gonna come in with stuff, or am I gonna come in with 2 elusives next turn and a 6/4? Because that is actually a solid trade for us in that situation. We could also play the Herald of Spring at the beginning of our next turn to get some extra health, but I don't think we need it just yet. And we can honestly sit on Zephyr Sage until we get something better at this point. Like, if we were to pull a Darius, for example, we could double the Darius, and that's just really, really good. Actually, if we got a Darius here, we could double the Darius, play 1, and then use the other as a Decimate on the Nexus to get him to level up. They're not even going to go in at all. Okay. So that was a good play for us, in my opinion. And one of their elusives is now stunned, so we're guaranteed to get through with our elusives if we swing out here right away. And look what we just drew that we can double. I like that a lot. Yeah, so we're going to go in with these 3 just like this. I honestly don't know the value of the Inspiring Mentor here, but we probably are better off saving it as a blocker. Alright, let's go. You guys are guaranteed to take 5 here, which means Darius is set. If Darius comes out on the board now, he just wins the game. Unless they can block 5... Unless they have like a 6 health unit out, Darius just wins the game here. So I'm more than happy with that. We also get a little bit of life back from our Kinku Lifeblade. This is going amazingly well. God, this guy is just... The Minotaur Reckoner, I'm telling you, if there's one card that I've seen in this game that I'm like, they probably need to balance that, it's the Reckoner. The Reckoner is just way, way too strong. Start of round, Frostbite the strongest enemy. That's kind of... I think the start of round triggers are a little much, to be honest. I really do. Alright, let's do Zephyr Sage here on Savage Reckoner. Love having 2 of these. We can play 1 at the end of their turn and ensure that it is blocked by the lowest health unit. Okay. Good with that. This is annoying, but it's hopefully going to hit this guy. No, it's going to hit our Reckoner, but that's fine. Our Reckoner's also going to stun their elusive guy, which is just great. And we have Vision, which is Burst, so we can go in next turn with both of our elusives and give them +1/+0, and we basically just win. They have to play another elusive this round or kill both of our elusives or we win. Come on. I know you're thinking. Think faster. We're running out of time here. Took a little bit longer with the draft than I expected. After this expedition is done, though, folks, we're going to be switching over to some deck tech content. I've just been kind of building up a little bit of a collection because I am doing this all free-to-play. But we're going to go over some cool free-to-play decks that you can build relatively inexpensively wildcard-wise and get some real value out of. That's what I want to be able to show you guys in the future. So here... Yeah, that's a good trade. We can throw him away to block that. And with these guys, do we just want to eat the 9? See, this is actually a good move by them because we basically eat the 9 or we risk our Reckoner. They do have full mana right now, which is problematic. Either that or we give up our... Actually, we have so much mana here that this is fine. This is fine. We can actually do that and be okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. If they've got spells up their sleeve, they've got spells up their sleeve. We still have game. We still have game next turn no matter what because of our Savage Reckoner here. It's basically all I'm worried about is they're using this to kill our elusives, which is fine. I just don't want to let us take 9 here, get really, really low, and then get, like, double spelled to death. That would be really weak. Okay, now that that's done, say hello to my not-so-little friend. It's crazy. If they hadn't gone in with the thing that frostbited the highest attack, we might not have won the game. I don't know why, like, it seems like that was just a frustration swing. Because going in with Rhyme Tusk Shaman there was not a good play. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh. Okay, so you're gonna stun my weakest enemy, which is or my weakest ally, which is the Zephyr Sage. I guess that's something. I would have played that to clone the Rhyme Tusk first over the Reckoner here, because that would have been much, much better for you, but hey, you do you, man. You do you. This is great, because if we swing in with it and they kill it, it doesn't really matter. We still get 2 damage on the Nexus. That'll actually take the stun now, though, which is kind of unfortunate. I would have rather had that go in than the Zephyr Sage, but it is what it is. Come on, let me go. Welcome to game over. Okay, we take 1 damage there, not really worried about it.
Out of my way! Come here.
Can't swing with that. Yeah, pretty much no matter what here we win. Come on. Oh my, unless they have like a crazy board sweeper. I should have actually thought about that one.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
They could have a crazy board sweeper here, but I doubt it. And that's game. Beautiful. Reckoner comes through, does his thing. Something about the Reckoners, guys. This game is all about the Reckoners right now. Minotaur Reckoner and then Savage Reckoner just really sewed it up for us. We didn't even get Darius. We just... We'll do it without Darius. Who needs Darius? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for this episode. Although, I guess we should move forward and at least see that's where I'm at with Ionia, in case you're wondering, because I'm working on Ionia. We do get a swap card, or rather, another set of cards here. Ooh, another Darius, an Elixir of Wrath, and a Whirling Death. Or we could pick up a Draven here. And the Draven comes with some stuff. I'm not so sold on the Draven. Also not super sold on the Zed. I mean, the Draven is okay. It does have Quick Attack and Overwhelm, and it does give you access to Spinning Axes, which are pretty good. You basically just discard them to give something +1/+0. It's alright. I still feel like Darius is a better pick here because it gives us more consistency, so we're going to take that. Anyways, we will continue with this on the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Once again, we'll be moving into deck techs after we finish out this expedition. I do just want to finish this off so you guys can get a feel for how the whole thing goes and what kind of rewards are at the end. Hopefully we do better this run than last run. We started last run off with a win as well. I do feel like our deck's a lot more solid this time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!